Good evening, good evening, good evening. We're going to start things off a little differently than we do every other night. Um, and I'm saying this because we're going to have some people pop in and pop out, but we are definitively going to talk about relationships because for some reason people think that just like they think black people are monolith. Well, I am knocking stuff over. Sweet baby Jesus. Excuse me, y'all. They think that relationships are a monolith, and they are not. Uh, there are a plethora of different relationships that you can be in, whether you're polygamous, polyamorous, uh, let's go. So sorry about that. Hey,
Hey,
honey.
hey. A little
Let's
sideways.
turn this up a little bit. But I was giving people a brief introduction and I knocked a bunch of stuff over, but we all know I'm clumsy, so we're not going to worry about that. Because okay. Yeah, we're getting plugged in.
Plug it in,
But
plug it
yeah,
in.
I was explaining to people that because I think because society today tells you that you have to be monogamous or nothing else. Like there's no other option.
Exactly.
There's a plethora of options out there.
So many, and it's like when you're young, you're always told, and it's always seen as it's always two adults in love, and that is what a relationship is, and that's
Mm-hmm.
ingrained in you through whatever you watch on TV or whatever potentially what your religion is, like it is taught to you that way. And any other way is just kind of, you literally have to stumble across, the idea of it. And I think a lot of us question maybe like why monogamy doesn't work or why this or like that, or thinking about like, other things, or maybe even the idea of like well, I don't even know where I'm going with this, but bottom line, like, it's you just
Well,
see
a
it
lot of people who
the
feel that monogamy isn't for them, they'll enter
mm,
into relationships with people who are fervently in the belief of monogamy because that's what society has told them, and then they end up cheating
yeah.
because cheating involves deception, and they
Hmm.
don't realize there are people out here that are like, I'm going to be attracted to this person and I'm going to flirt. You can be attracted to that person. And even if you're going to be monogamous, can we normalize you realizing that getting into a relationship with someone does not mean that you're dead? It does
Exactly.
not mean you're not going to go, oh, they're attractive. Because just because you find somebody attractive doesn't mean you're going to go run down the street to go get them.
Exactly. We're humans. We observe things. You see something that you like it. You go, woo, pretty, woo, that. And that includes people, seeing people that we biologically, if you want to get into science about it, yes, to end it for specifically with people with XX chromosome, whenever you get to that point in the ovulation cycle, things start to become more attractive to you. Your
Say that, please. Thank you.
changes, you release different pheromones, and that's a big part of our existence is because just like other species of beings, we're here to procreate and we have a season of procreation. And so with that leads into, cheating, attraction, but a general attraction. There are days, with my boyfriend where he I'm releasing the pheromones and I don't even know it,
Hmm.
or my voice is a lot higher than it is and I don't even know it, or saying, or I notice how chiseled his jaw might be, or there are just some things that I'm more drawn to.
Oh, there'll be times that I'm like, oh, I must be getting close to my cycle because things that I didn't previously think were attractive, oh, I can't stop looking at it.
Exactly.
And I'm not being disrespectful or disingenuous. It's like something will catch your attention and you're like, that is the most beautiful thing in the world. I must watch it. And that's literally what we go through. But it doesn't mean we're going to leave our partners. And once we're past that phase, it is okay to go, that is an attractive woman. That is an attractive man. You're not dead.
You're not dead. And I think one of the beautiful things with poly is when you and your partner or partners have that aha moment together, when you're like, wow, everybody see them, everybody see her, everybody see, like, you just, everybody together is just like, yep. And it's beautiful to be like with somebody or multiple people where everybody feels that mutual, like, yeah, and you get support from that too. Nobody's being like, why do you think, anything like that. It's an appreciation of the human experience, really.
And it's like, if you feel that way about your partner, if your partner is innocently watching a TV show or say watching our live, you shouldn't feel insecure because that's what they're doing.
Exactly. None of that.
And my thing is, I've never understood people who get upset because their partner watches porn. I'm like, it's somebody on a screen that's stimulating them to probably want to come and do that to you. Like, they're getting ideas, they're getting creative.
Yeah. I mean, there was one time, but I mean, this wasn't in a poly situation where I was there and he just put porn on and I was like, I'm actually like here though. And he excused me from the room. And I was just like, okay. I mean, you got to do what you got to do as long as we get this done, like that.
Like, I've never understood that, where I've heard men and women go, well, that's cheating. I'm right here in the relationship. Okay, but sometimes we might want to spice it up. And we may realize that how we want to spice it up, you're not comfortable with. So we're not going to disrespect your boundaries. We're going to get that mental before we come in there and spice it up with you in accordance to your boundaries.
Exactly. And as well, it's not cheating, especially because masturbation, it's something that we ourselves, our own selves do. That is your time. That is me time. And your partner has no control over what you think about in your brain. Okay? If it is like the woodland elf fantasy from Lord of the Rings that you always wanted, and it's Orlando Bloom riding on a fucking steed, go ahead, have your damn fantasy.
And you know what? That reminds me of an episode of Big Bang Theory. I just mentioned one of mine. But that reminds me of an episode of Big Bang Theory. So that lets y'all know how much of a nerd I am. But Christine Baranski, who played one of the mothers, and I love, you know her from The Dominant Elf, from the live action Dr. Seuss.
Yeah.
The old, and from, I'm about to tell my age.
Huvier.
Yes. But I'm about to completely tell my age because she was also the best friend in the TV show Sybil. She was married to and then divorced. The doctor came over, always drinking cocktails, and she took the doctor to the cleaners. I don't care. Y'all can do the math. I'm gonna be 44 on Saturday, so let me help you with the math. Okay. But on that episode where she finally found out that her son was dating Penny across the hall, in the car, she told Penny, I have been responsible for my own orgasm for 20 years. And let's be real. I don't care if you're a man, a woman, or non-binary. There's a lot of us that have been in relationships where that has been our responsibility. Let's be, if we're ready to get all the way into it, because we love that person so much.
Yes.
And cisgendered men, hear me right now. Cisgendered men, hear me right now. When we're trying to teach you about our individual bodies, stop stopping us going, well, my ex-girlfriend liked it. I promise you she didn't. She just wasn't as strong as we were to correct you. Okay. You do not need to be like, that's not sexy. That's not comfortable. You don't need to.
And
This
well,
this right here, that's friction. You're trying to start a campfire. That's
exactly.
no. And then you're not even in the right place. You're doing like this on my lips, baby. I gotta put chapstick on here. So what you think I need to do down here? Don't do that. Don't do that. No, if I'm trying to guide you, just like you try to guide me for pleasure, let me guide you. Let me teach you. And I'm saying specifically cisgendered men, because other men don't have that problem. They listen. Don't ask me how I know. I just know.
I just know too. But another thing about that, about the achieving the orgasm too, is that you engaging with somebody else, you are not making them orgasm. I don't like that idea of I made you come, or I made her come so hard, or I made him or them come so hard. It's just like, no, you helped them.
Right. It's a joint effort.
It's a joint effort. You broke through a boundary with them to help them. You are helping them relax, and you are helping them achieve that point because they feel comfortable enough with you. For me personally, for the longest time in my sex life, I did not let the people that I slept with get me to an orgasm. I had a control thing in my mind, and I wanted to be in control of the orgasm because I knew how to do it. And that was a huge thing of orgasming with a partner. And then finally, I found the partner that I've been with for the past 7 years, where I was like, he had expressed interest in trying to help me orgasm. And that's what he said. He's like, I would like to help you orgasm sometime, and we had been having conversation after conversation about it and trying to understand Jess. It was a very mutual, open conversation between me and him. And and one night I was like, okay, I'll tell you and I'll show you, or things like that. And that was huge for me to break that boundary and bring down that barrier. And when that happened, I mean, I cried. It was the most beautiful thing that had ever happened to me in my life. And like, that was one of the things that sealed in the deal for me, especially with the verbiage that he didn't make me orgasm. He helped me orgasm. And yeah, so, and again, like I said, in the rest of my sex life, like I made it because that was such a special thing for me and my partner. When I had other partners, or when I would, have, dates outside of my outside of my relationship, consensual, and that everybody knew about, because we communicate in poly. We don't sneak.
Yes. And I wish people would really, truly understand that. And I'm glad you brought that up, because I've had people online call me a cheater, and I'm like, I'm not a cheater. Cheating involves deception.
Yep.
When you're polyamorous, and when we say poly, we're not talking about polygamy.
Exactly.
You're open and honest about everything, every step of the way, and you have rules and boundaries. And I have a friend, and in their poly relationship, there's levels to it. They have specific steps within specific time frames that if it's not met within that time frame, you have to let it go.
Yep.
Now, within my relationship, there aren't time frames, because I realize different people are comfortable at different times. But there's no deception involved. It's, hey, yes, I do have this person. Yes, I can date you separately, or I can be with you separately. This is not and I want you all to realize there are a lot of people who get on dating apps, especially women. And I think it's very despicable, where they will play as if they're a single bisexual woman. Then you start talking to them on Tinder, on Plenty of Fish, on all these different apps, even if you meet them on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. And then all of a sudden, after you get comfortable, they're like, well, my boyfriend and I. No, that is not what goes on in poly. That is a deceptive person.
That is deception.
Who's trying to, they want a unicorn.
Exactly. That's what I just said. They want a unicorn. That's unicorn
hunting. There's a man and a woman in a relationship, and they have the fantasy of having a threesome with a bisexual woman because they believe that this one woman is going to fulfill all of their fantasies and let them do everything they ever thought of in one night. And that's no, we're not into sex trafficking.
No.
And they don't realize that they have some taken fantasies. And if you saw Taken 1, you know what I mean by that. They have some taken fantasies that they want to live out. No, 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 no. And poly, it's not that, because I've had relationships where it never got physical. There was no sex.
Yeah.
The conversations were so great. The support was so great. And we both needed that. And that was the fulfillment. And people need to get out of the mindset that just because you're in a relationship with somebody that it becomes sexual. I've had several relationships as a teenager and as an adult where there was never any sex between me and my partner. I've also had relationships where it started off physical and then we're like, that's not our connection.
Yeah.
Let's revise this. That's not our connection. And I think so many people get hung up, especially as adults, that if I'm in a relationship with somebody, I have to have sex with them. Why? Well, my friend said, how do your friends know what's going on in your bedroom if you don't tell them?
Yeah.
And ladies, gentlemen, and in-betweens, let me explain something to you. Can y'all please stop broadcasting when you get that ultimate shingle, you see the good shit lollipop rainbow sex with your partner? Because as close as you think you are to somebody, trust me, you get at least one hoe in your camp.
Yep.
They could be the gays, the theys, the she's, the he's. You got one hoe. And truth be told, that hoe might be your mama or your daddy. Let me tell that, because I know a lot of y'all ain't ready for that conversation. A lot of times that hoe in your camp is your mama or your daddy. And you gonna walk into your house and get your feelings completely hurt. Stop saying that. I'm not saying hide the fact that you happy, but stop telling the details of your sex life. Whether it's you're satisfied, you're dissatisfied, they doing it right, they doing it kind of right, they doing it. Stop saying it. Because there is somebody that's in competition with you that you don't know that's in competition with you. And they think they're going to get the crown. They think they're going to get the gold medal by coming in, putting that whip appeal, as Babyface would say, on your partner.
Yep.
And your partner could be fervently in love with you and be like, baby, it was a slip. It was a slip. And they could really, truly want to be with you and really, truly love you. But that person ain't going to never let it go. And they're going to keep reminding you that they got like Trina and decided to be slip and slide, sweet and roll. Let them see that tootsie roll. Stop saying that stuff. Stop saying it. Everything is not for public consumption.
Yeah. The only thing that you need to talk about, specifically in poly, is if you do have sex, you need to let your partner know that you did, right? Because of health concerns, they need to know about if there was, a condom break,
or actually,
or if there's been exposure.
Get your rules down before.
You make the rules before intimacy. See, that's
and then after that, then tell them
exactly
if it happened.
See, because for me, a while back when I was dating another partner, when I had another partner with my main partner, he had an interest in a girl, and first of all, I'm gonna get real salty because it was a bad relationship. It just did not work. So if I come off as like, that's because it was a bad relationship. But my ex, madly crazy, head over heels sprung because he found somebody new. Now, generally, I would have been excited for my partner. The problem is that there was deception from the get-go. So I was not feeling secure in giving them my blessing and feeling happy, because I should feel happy for my partner that they found somebody else, somebody new, somebody fun that makes them just as happy, in a different way that maybe I can't. But I
Mhm.
couldn't because of the deception from the beginning. And so then, like, what had happened was, like, they went and they wanted to go again and be intimate. And he only saw this person because this person lived out of state. So they only went to music festivals to be able to see each other. And this music festival was coming up, and I knew that this conversation was going to happen. And we sat down for a long time, and I said, okay, here's the thing. I'm like, we have a lot of people in our poly universe. There's you, there's me, there's my boyfriend, there's my boyfriend's wife, there's my boyfriend's wife's boyfriend, and whoever my boyfriend's wife's boyfriend is engaging with. That's how many people we have. And I'm like, so here's the boundary, friend. I'm like, you need to get tested as soon as you come home. She needs to get tested as soon as she gets home before you guys see each other again. And I said, at the next festival that's later on this summer, you both need to be tested. I was like, on this trip, you need to, I mean, like, before you go, you need to ask her if she's on birth control or any type of other contraception. You need to bring up backup birth control. You wear a condom every time. I was like, for oral sex, I don't care. But for intimate sex, you need to wear a condom every single time. I made sure I set these rules. And luckily, boundaries, excuse me, not rules, but boundaries. And he followed through with those boundaries. But that's what's important, is that you always have to communicate with your partners. And what sucked about my relationship with him was the deception. I was constantly being deceived by him. And it got to the point where he cheated on me. Yes, you can cheat in poly. Yes, friends, you can cheat in poly.
And there are a lot of people who do, even though, as long as you're honest, you can follow your heart's desire, because we realize we are not built for monogamy. That's why we choose polyamorous relationships. But there are people who, you have narcissistic people.
Yep.
You have a plethora of people who go, oh, they're going to be more forgiving because they'll understand. I was attracted to this person. Yeah, I was attracted to that person over there, but I was still honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
It's the deception that hurts. It's the deception that will make you leave. Because if I'm open-ended and I'm allowing you to be open-ended, why lie to me?
Why? Exactly. Why lie? Exactly.
And that's why it hurts even more. Because I've been in a monogamous relationship and been cheated on.
Yep.
And I've been in a poly relationship and been cheated on. Did they both hurt? Yes. But the poly relationship being cheated on hurt more, because I'm like, wait. And you know what? If I'm going to put it out there, I'm going to put it out there. The one time in a poly relationship that I was cheated on, we met because of a threesome. Then after that, he was like, oh, are you wearing this? Are you going here? Are you doing that? Are you... Bro, we met because of a threesome that was hooked up by somebody else, and then we were attracted to each other and started a relationship. Then you decided to cheat and be deceptive. But why though?
Yeah.
But why though? And there are a lot of people, you do have to be careful, because there are a lot of people who will say that they're poly to like try to, and you can tell because within the first week, it's, why are you wearing this? Why are you going out with this person? And it could be people you've hung out with since you were 10.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, they just assume you have a sexual attraction to them. And I'm like,
yeah,
that's not how poly works.
Into somebody's pants. Let me say that again. Just because someone identifies as polyamorous, that does not mean it is an invitation into their bed, into their pants, into their lives. That is not what this is.
Polyamory is to relationships what weed is to drug culture. It does not lead to something else. It is not a gateway anything.
No.
If you decide you like weed and you decide, okay, I'm not monogamous, I'm not a cheater, I'm not about deception, I want to be open and honest, but I do want one steady partner. where when shit hits the fan, I know at least one person has my back.
Exactly.
Polyamory is for you.
If it's just about the sex, if it's just about fulfilling a fantasy,
Yeah, call girl.
then it's not for you. Because, if it's not about actually creating some type of intimate connection, be it emotional, be it both romantic and physical, be it just one or any type of variation, then poly is not for you.
So,
And it's definitely not for the faint of heart. Because here's the thing, poly is work. You think monogamy is hard? With poly, you have to communicate with every person involved.
yeah, if you're bad at communication, if communication causes you anxiety, this is not for you.
It's not for
If
you.
you are easily jealous because you are not the center of attention, it's not for you.
Yeah.
And I truly love polyamory because I don't like to be the center of attention. There are times where I'm like, can you focus your attention elsewhere? And I don't mean to be rude or disrespectful. But even in other aspects, I've had to tell my friends, like, can I just play the background? Can I just be your support team?
Yeah.
That's just me. And in polyamory, it's lovely to be able to high five somebody in like WWE SmackDown. Hey, it's your turn.
It's your turn, exactly.
Because
have fun, kids.
right, because when I tell people jokingly, my relationship works because one, we work opposing schedules. But there was a time where he had to have surgery and he was here 24 hours a day for 2 weeks. And I was like, I am not built to give this much attention.
Yeah.
And I was like, where's she at? She promised she was going to be here. Like, and even if somebody, and I know like earlier this week, I didn't feel well.
Yeah.
I'm not one for cuddles when I don't feel well. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I just like my booty rubbed when I'm sick. I don't know why. And that's an adult thing. Like when I was a child, there were other things that made me feel comfortable. But as an adult, for some reason, like after 27, I was like, yeah, well, my booty, it'll make me feel better. I don't know why. I do not know why but like when he gets sick, he wants like to cuddle like till he falls asleep. And it can take him 12 hours to fall asleep. I can't cuddle with you for 12 hours. You got 2 hours tops. Because even after I fall asleep, I'm rolling over the other way. Because I still sleep in the fetal position at almost 44 years old. But I still love you. But I need somebody that I can tag in. And polyamory is great for those days when your partner being hard-headed and you're like, I should not go off on them because it's minor. Yeah. Go see your other boo. Or I'm gonna go see my other boo. Like that time apart is wonderful. And I don't think a lot of people get that. One, we can have feelings for and love multiple people. Absolutely. And if you think that you can't, think about the fact that you love your parents, your siblings, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your husband, your wife, and your children. So you're loving multiple people. Yeah. We're not going to argue about that. Argue with your mom and daddy if they didn't point that out to you. But even in saying that, there's a beauty in going to someone else that cares about you. And you can vent on a different level. Because as much as you may love your primary partner, you may find a secondary or third or fourth partner that connects with you on a different level. Because what we have to realize, we live in intersectionality in every community that we are a part of. I don't care what marginalized community or major community that you live in, there's intersectionality. So my primary partner may understand me because of my race, but my secondary partner may understand me because of my sex. Another partner may understand me because of my orientation. Another partner may understand me because of my personality. And people take the personality out of the conversation. But we do get discriminated against because of our personality. If you're too nice, you're not going to get this. You're going to be judged this way. If you're deemed too mean, you're going to there's intersectionality upon intersectionality upon intersectionality.
I just did a TikTok about intersectionality too. So
I know, that's why I brought it up.
Thank you for bringing that around. I appreciate
but
that.
it's like, and people don't realize it. They just look at, oh, well, you're Black, so you're talking about the intersectionality of racism. Oh, there's intersectionality in sexism. There's intersectionality in sociology. There's intersectionality in psychology.
Yep.
You have to look at every part of life as a pie. And you have to look at that pie as if you're inviting people to your home to share that pie with you. Mm-hmm. How thin or thick can you cut those slices to make sure everybody gets a piece of that pie? That is intersectionality. Yep. Because you can have equity or equality. Equality is everybody gets a piece of the pie. Mm-hmm. Equity is everybody gets an equal piece of the pie. And in intersectionality, you have to realize somebody is going to be left out and not get a slice of the pie.
Exactly.
And the reason why they don't get a slice of the pie could be they're too light, they're too dark, they're too Spanish, they're too English, they're too Irish, they're too American, they're too UK, they're too anything. Mm-hmm. But in your relationships, and can y'all stop saying, oh, I'm part of the alphabet mafia, I can't be this phobic or that. No. There's too many phobics running around in the alphabet mafia. And just so y'all know, I'm not going to get too deep into it because we're going to do a panel on that tomorrow afternoon. So I'm not going to get too deep into that. It's no different than when Thomas Jefferson referred to his slaves as a child and as an adult as his friends. When he referred to Sally Hemings as his lover, when that pedophile started raping her at 12 years old. And when she decided at 14 and Paris, France to out him, he was like, no. If you don't, I'll make sure all of our children are freed. Bro, what? And you know what makes it even more disgusting? And then I'll get off my history tip. Sally Hemings was a gift to Thomas Jefferson's wife, because Sally Hemings was the product of Jefferson's wife, father, and a slave. So Jefferson's wife willingly allowed her husband to molest and rape her own half sister. But I digress. Let's go back to the variety of relationships.
Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah.
Sorry, I got off my soapbox. Y'all know how I feel about women in history.
You're good. No, that's people need to fucking know this shit. But I love your point about intersectionality. People need to understand that. And Jessie Lee 93 is my TikTok name. And this morning I did a video about intersectionality talking about that. And again, I want to hit again on that point is that, anybody and everybody can be an oppressor in some way, shape, or form. If you look at the intersectionality, I am a bisexual, cisgendered Black woman. Okay. Yeah. I am part of marginalized classes of people, marginalized groups of people. But at the same time, I can be an oppressor towards the disabled community because I do not have a disability. Mm-hmm. I can be transphobic. I can be homophobic. I can be prejudiced. I can be all of those things. Okay? So just because you are part of a marginalized group does not excuse you or your actions or your behaviors that speak out and against other marginalized people.
And I tell, this is what I'm going to tell everybody watching. Educate yourself by researching Andra Lord. Mm-hmm. She is a Black woman who happens to be a lesbian who delves deep into intersectionality, not just through her poetry, but through her reports. Mm-hmm. And she has 3 amazing reports and accounts that will delve deep into the intersectionality between the alphabet mafia, the Black community, and being a woman. So
Mhm.
if you fit any of those, please. Her name is Andra Lord. And actually, next Wednesday, if you follow me on TikTok or Instagram, you can
I'm in the
click
dark
the
now.
link in my bio that says Learning Through Black Literature. We're going to delve deep into Andra Lord and her writings and that intersectionality. But I'm telling you, if you do not understand that term and how deep it goes, please research that woman. Once again, Andra Lord, and it's Lord with an E at the end. Please do.
Please do.
You will not regret it. Because when I first heard the term, I will admit I didn't have a full, firm grasp in it. But as I was doing research and I came across her, no, she's not the person who coined the phrase,
Mhm.
but she's the person who most explicitly and impeccably dismantles it and explains it to you at its core
Mm.
and shows it to you through all aspects.
Mhm. Awesome. That's amazing. But yeah, I have you looked at any of the comments to see if anybody has a question?
Well, hold on.
There's some
This comment I love. I decided to make myself the anchor partner. I date myself first. I know my worth, and movies alone at the theater are magical. Haha. I so love that. I
I
am
love
in
it
a
too.
relationship and I still take myself on dates, even if it's,
Mhm.
and this is what I used to do with my children, and I still do it with myself. I do something called at home drive ins, where I push
Mhm.
my ottoman out the way. I put a little blanket on the floor, pretend like I'm outside,
Yeah.
put on a movie, and have my little snacky snacks like I'm at the drive through, and I will sit there and enjoy me. So whether in a relationship or out, love on yourself.
Exactly. You're allowed to have me time. You know, there are
And
times like hold on,
I'm
hold on,
a
hold on,
firm
hold on.
believer. Pick a theme song for yourself.
Mine is Mary J. Blige, Just Fine.
My
Every
theme
time.
song was given to me when I was born. Oh, y'all, I'm about to age myself again. Stevie Wonder, his daughter and I have the same birthday. So isn't she lovely when you hear the baby in the background? That's his daughter right after she was born.
Yep.
That has been my theme song. And people are like, why don't you pick a different theme song? And I'm like, because this actually does say how I feel about myself. And when I hear Isn't She Lovely, it's not about the physical.
Mhm.
For me, it's the interior. I do not know his intent when writing the song. I'm just telling you all how I interpret it. And I can be having a low moment, baby. Listen, I'll be blasting that all through the house and just do it and get a happy dance. And let
Yep.
me explain to y'all what a happy dance is. A happy dance doesn't have to make sense to anybody. Don't nobody have to see you do it. Do the
It's not
moves that
for
make
anyone.
you
It's for
feel
you.
happy.
It's for you. It's not for anyone else.
Right. And you do the happy dance when you're having a bad day or you having a good day. It's
Exactly.
just the moves that make you feel good. It doesn't have to make sense. It doesn't even have to be on beat. Move your body how your body feels good moving. You're doing it for you. Get
Exactly.
you a happy dance, get you a theme song, and get you a chant in the
Mhm.
morning. So when you look at yourself in the mirror, you know what? I'm going to give y'all something.
Give
If
him.
y'all don't do nothing else, look in the mirror and we're going to take it old school. Say, I am
I
somebody.
am.
I am somebody.
I am somebody.
And I'm telling, I do it every day. And me and Jesse have had this conversation
Yes, we
off
have.
camera. I do this literally every day.
Every day she does.
And just like yesterday, I made a misstep and I immediately apologized to people. And you want to know why I was able to do that? And I was able to accept my faux pas because that's how I start my day. Because
Mhm.
if you believe every day that you are somebody, if you are somebody, you can take criticism. You don't want to hurt or disrespect anybody else. I'm telling you from experience. So if they tell you, hey sis, hey bruh, hey in between, you hurt me.
Mhm.
And you're like, hold up, wait a minute, let me think about it. Oh crap. I hurt you on one level that you said, but actually it was 3 different levels. Let me apologize to you on these 3 different levels.
Exactly.
You're okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
You're at peace with that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's especially what you need in a poly relationship. Hey, Lady G is in here.
Hey,
Lady G.
Doing? Yeah, and exactly. That's definitely something that you need in poly.
Oh, I look good. Oh, thank you. I got a new ring light. I got a birthday gift today.
Really love about poly is so for those of you that don't know, many of you probably don't even know. I go to Burning Man. I go to Burning Man inspired events. If you don't know what it is,
how we've not run into each other?
How the hell I don't
know. Oh, never mind. I know the side that I stay on. Never mind. Carry on.
I know the side I stay on. I go everywhere. But anyway.
No, I don't go everywhere. There's one particular side of Burning Man that you can find me on, and I know you know what I'm talking about. But keep going.
I do know. But yeah, no, I go to Burning Man Burning Man events all over the country. Before the pandemic. And one of the things that you really have to learn, and you really do learn these in these environments because you're surrounded by anywhere from 3,000 people to 80,000 people. You yourself, if you go with your polycule, your whole poly universe, if the whole damn family's going, and that's how it is in my universe, especially before our universe shifted, and I'll go into that a little bit later. There would be nights that we would schedule our nights that we would spend with our partners. So one night it would be me and my partner, and then another night it would be my partner and his wife, and if I was with my other partner, it would be me and them, or it would, you have to figure it out. And one of the big things that you have to figure out is you have to figure out how to be alone. That is one of the most important things, and especially when you're in a place where there's art and people and dancing and all that stuff. There are things you got to figure out how to have fun by yourself, and not oh man, I wish my partner was here. You got to figure out how to do it.
And there are times where you truly need to be alone.
And that's the night. And I used to, back when the universe had changed, before my universe had changed. That night was the night where I was like, Jesse's going all in. Like, it's going to be a Jesse night. I fucking put on my panda onesie because it was cold as fuck. I put my panda onesie on. I started drinking, and I was just like, I'm going out. And I fucking went out. I hung out with my friends.
Oh, I think I know that night that was so cool because I put on my unicorn onesie. So we probably ran past each other.
Like that, exactly. I put my panda onesie on, and I got the name the Barely Barreling Bear by the end of that fucking night, because every time I walked by,
I love it.
I was slower and slower, and at one point I was like whatever. But and then I woke up. I made it home. To my tent. I was still in my bear onesie. Don't remember most of the night, but I know that I took off, and I had a fucking blast. I ended up hanging out with some of my close friends who normally I would hang out with my partner, but it was just me. It was just me and them that time. So they got to get to know me, just me, without my partner there, and without my partner there, they get to just hang out with just Jesse.
And that's super important.
Just my boyfriend. And but that's one of the main things, is that you have to understand and you have to figure out how to be alone when your partner is out doing something else, or when you don't have a date planned, but you're
and that's important. And I don't care what type of relationship that you're in, because so many people, especially women, get lost in their relationship. Okay, Rebecca. Okay, let me clear this up to everybody. Thank you all for all of the birthday wishes, but my birthday is Saturday. I know that you've seen videos where I've opened up gifts, or I've commented about people sending me gifts, because there's so much going on. I haven't done all of my unboxings on a video, because between the Chauvin verdict, Ma'Khia Bryant being shot, I was feeling some type of way. I know it's my birthday and I can celebrate it, but I got bigger fish to fry. Oh, and
is it like a rave? No.
No.
It's okay. Okay.
It's like a concert. Okay.
No.
Imagine having a concert.
No. I got it.
Okay, go ahead.
It is a festival of people. It is a people festival. It is not a music festival, with the hippies and the no. Because here's the thing. It is a festival of people. It is people from all over the world, all over the country coming together and it's everything that people bring. If you want to have good shit, people have to bring the shit. You don't just show up and the shit's there. No, people volunteer their time to make something beautiful. 80,000 people frolic, congregate in the desert. We build our own fucking city. It wouldn't be there without 80,000 people. It wouldn't be there for the team that is out there on the playa maintaining the land. It wouldn't be there without the people behind the scene, literally volunteering their time. No one gets paid to do any of this shit. We volunteer.
I call it the Cheers of festivals. And I'm saying Cheers like the TV show where they market it as everybody knows your name, because that's how you feel.
Mm-hmm. You're home. The first thing they say to you is welcome home.
Right. You walk
in the desert. The first thing that you do is you fucking lay down in the dust and you do a dust angel.
Yes, you do.
Yay!
Before you pitch your tent, am I lying? Before you pitch your tent, what do we all do? And you can walk out. Say you ran out of water.
Yep.
Say it's your first time and you didn't know how much water to bring. There's somebody to bring you water.
Yep.
Somebody will be cooking food and they'll walk over to you. Hey, come over here, eat food.
Yeah.
They may have just $100 worth of food for a whole week, but they're still going to share with you.
Yep. There's a regional in Miami called Loveburn. Love it. And there was a whole camp called Poutine. And they made poutine for everybody. They scheduled a poutine party at midnight. They literally bring in over like 500 pounds of potatoes and everything that they need to make the poutine to serve 3,000 people. As many, you have to make enough to serve, you have to think wise and make sure you have enough to potentially serve 3,000 people every night that you do this at midnight. You never know how many people you're going to get, but you have to make sure that you have enough. You absolutely have to. And, and that's one of the beauties about the burner community is the gifting aspect. I've been walking around one time. It was my first ever burn that I went to.
Oh, hold on. Lady G was like, is this like Coachella? Oh, baby, we don't like Coachella.
We hate Coachella.
Coachella is the uber super bougie. You going to get celebrities there. You
don't get dirt. You don't get dusty. You don't get dirty. And
celebrities show up and try to act like they're woke and they're with the people. They're not. Like
commodified. That's the problem. Burning Man and Burning Man events around the country are decommodified. The only thing that you buy is your ticket and ice. That is it. Everything else you have to bring with you.
And actually, I don't even think I paid for ice the last time.
You didn't pay?
I think I did ice for trade.
You did ice for trade? Okay.
I think because I traded sandwiches for ice.
Nice. And you can do that. You can do something, you got to do what you got to do. But I mean, I remember my first burn and I mean, I didn't know what a burn was. And I mean, I showed up in default world clothes and like by the end of it, I was wearing a tutu and like some crazy antenna. And I was like standing there in a bra with a glow stick around. And I was just like,
that's how it goes.
Because I came in kind of dressed like this. And by the end, I was just like, wait, you never know what's going to happen. But I remember like we had ran out of food because all we brought were like granola bars. Yeah, I know. All we brought was granola bars. And we had like those tiny little 6-packs of Gatorade. That's it. I was walking around and I guess I looked really famished. And some lady came up to me. And I don't remember what she was wearing, but she looked amazing. I think she had body painted herself blue. So she kind of looked like a Smurf. And she comes up to me and she's like, would you like a Spam sandwich? And I was just like, I can have a Spam sandwich? She's like, yeah, I made fried Spam sandwiches. Some have cheese, I was like, thank you. And I ate a Spam sandwich. And I was just like, this just kicked up my burn. Like you just made it.
I was the belle of the ball one year because I had roast beef and provolone.
Ooh.
But it was on sale. It was one of those times where it was on sale and I had a coupon while we were on our way.
Yeah.
And then they kept giving me the coupon back, and I realized there were a lot more of that grocery store chain on our way there. So I just kept stopping at each one.
That's awesome. No, we learned a hack this year. This was a lot better through our friend who runs do you know Pandora's Bike Fix It Up Shop?
Yeah.
Yeah, my friend runs that camp. And yes, my friend runs that camp. And so that's where we camp. And so he taught us that what you want to do with your food to make sure that you have whatever you want. We ate Chinese food in the desert. Why? Because what we did was we bought a bunch of food before we left. We vacuum sealed it and we decomposed it. So then all we had to do was pop it in the microwave because we have an RV. So we had a microwave, put it in an RV. And so, I mean, I'm sitting out there eating lo mein in the middle of the desert. And I'm just like, I mean, it tastes just like I had just ordered it. I was just like, oh my gosh. I mean, I had my mac and cheese.
Well, at least y'all did the RV. We did a bottomless portable fire pit and heated everything over that.
Yeah, see, you know, they have those too. And also in our theme camp that we were, if you camp at the theme camp, sometimes there's a kitchen. So that you could, a communal kitchen for everybody, you know, you have to pitch in like for money for like propane. But that's about it. And, you know, you have your kitchen that you can do whatever you want. You can cook for everybody.
Yeah, I had to stop doing that because when I realized I was going days at a time cooking for everybody because that's just who I am, I was like, I'm getting too old for this. I'm tired. I'm missing all the good festivities because I'm tired because we went from 20 people to 60 people to like 100 and something. And I'm like, oh no, I'm tired.
Yeah. No. One time I made grilled cheese sandwiches and I mean, literally, like I'm
just saying when I
just made them and they were gone in like 2 seconds. I literally stepped out of my camp and I was like, grilled cheese. I got rushed by a bunch of people and they were gone.
Now let me explain something to you. When I missed my Snoop and Willie Nelson session, I was done.
Oh no.
I was done.
Oh no.
I was like, this is why I come to the desert. Because ain't nobody gonna snitch on me.
Yeah.
And I missed it.
Okay. I saw Paris Hilton from a distance. I knew it was her because she always comes with an entourage. And I was just like, okay, there's Paris Hilton. I even saw her DJing. She was at Playa this past year. She was in the they had this giant pyramid with reflecting. It was the coolest fucking thing ever. And I walked in and I was just like, yeah, that's Paris Hilton and she's totally DJing right now. I don't want to be in here. I'm like, no slack Paris. And I'm just like, this everybody's in here because Paris Hilton is in here and they're wanting that celebrity moment. And I was like, nope. And then there's a picture of P. Diddy because he was there. He was on Playa. But
yeah, they just wanted to celebrity.
And he was on a bike that he'd freshly bought. It had no dust on it. He had no dust on him. I was like, "Are you sure you're in the desert?" And then another time there was the Cobra. There was a giant Cobra vehicle that was going around.
Oh yeah,
I almost got on. Had I got on, I would have met David Hasselhoff. He was there, and I was like, "Oh,
he's always there."
He's always there. I know he's always there. Like
he's okay, remember when I said what I missed? Because I'm not gonna say it out loud and attach his name to it, but that's where you can find him. And
oh hell yeah, you know, there's the bougie rich area of Burning Man. We call that what do we call that?
I call it Socialite Row.
We call it Silicon Valley. That's Silicon Valley is where like all of the real super rich people who bring like
I called it Silicon Valley when the one time the Kardashians showed up with all never mind. I'm not trying to get sued or kicked off YouTube, so I'm just gonna call it
Did you get on the 737? The 747? My bad. Did you get on that? I had the chance to. We were way deep out in Playa, like deep.
So I wasn't going to, and a friend of mine was like, "You got to do it," and I was like, "I don't want to do it by myself." I was like, "Are you coming?" And she was like, "No, but you got to do it." And then I was like, "Well, this was my mistake. If I can get on, I'll get on." I was already sitting on my friend's shoulders, and I didn't think about it when I said that. And she was sitting on another friend's shoulders. So when they came around, she pushed me, and thank God I landed the proper way. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Yeah, I got on one mutant vehicle though this past year, 2 years ago actually. Randomly, I was riding my bike, and then this woman held out a stop sign, and I was like, "Damn it!" I'm like, Burning Man, okay. So I stop at the fucking stop sign. She's like, "You look like you could go for a ride." And I'm like, "Where?" She's like, "On this sardine car," and it just meowed. It's meowed, and then it started baying like sheep. And I painted myself as a cat because they had all these, like, "Hey, make yourself a cat." And I was like, okay. So I made myself a cat, and I was like I was on the mutant vehicle, and I was waving at all my friends and like yelling at some of my friends. And then we ended up at a cat party. Yeah, we just so happened to come across a cat party, which is one of the beauties of Burning Man.
Oh, Jesse, we can go to Canada.
Woo-hoo!
We can go to Canada. Woohoo!
Yes, let's go. They have a burn in Canada. Let's go.
Yeah, they do. Oh my god. Oh, volcanic. Do you go to the burn in Canada? Can we go to the burn in Canada with you? Please comment.
Yeah, please comment.
Because we are down.
You're in Texas, right?
I'm in Kentucky.
Or you're in Kentucky, my bad. Have you been Flipside? You been to Flipside in Texas? I have yet to go to Flipside. My boyfriend and his wife went to Alchemy in Georgia.
Yeah, but don't say that too loud, because I got some friends in Texas that when I go to Flipside, I don't.
Okay.
I don't tell them that I'm there.
Okay. Well, Flipside.
It's not that I don't love them, but you can't go to Flipside and then visit people afterwards, because you need some time.
Nope. You gotta go
normal again. To get normal again. Like you can't go to Flipside.
Decompression.
Right. You can't just go to people's house after that. Okay. Okay. Y'all remember in the last Toy Story where Woody went through his whole epiphany thing and he just wasn't the same no more?
Yep.
That's how you are when you go to stuff like you can't immediately go to folks' houses. Like you forget how to act indoors. You got to go home, get yourself together over a couple weeks, maybe a couple
shower.
months.
Take a shower.
Definitely.
You have to
actually. You need to soak in the tub, take a shower, soak again, take a shower, then take another shower with a body scrub, and then you good. And make sure you lotion, because the whole time you at a burn or anything else, you are literally waiting for your natural oils to come out. Did nobody tell you to wait for your natural oils to come out? You just stepped on that soil and decided, I believe my body has natural oils. I'm going to wait for them to come out. Like, that's what gets into your head. You walking around looking like you've been kicking around Aunt Jemima pancake mix for the past 60 years. That's what you're looking like. But you think that you the sexiest thing out there. You walking around half naked going, hey, oh, hey. Looking a hot damn mess. Look.
We're all dusty as fuck. I took a nap in my camp because it was, man, I'd been going so hard. It was Tuesday, and I was already like, I need to take a fucking nap. And I literally was on some Plyatech on a beanbag with a chair, like with a pillow behind me. I was sitting on the beanbag that was on some Plyatech. I was elevated. I put my feet out, and I fell back like this, and I slept for like 4 hours. When I woke up, I was covered in dust. I like slept through a whole fucking dust storm, and I get up and I was like, damn. And all my friends were walking by being like, "You's a dusty bitch." And I'm like, yeah, yes, I am. Like,
but we got a newbie. They've never been. So they're ooh, Jesse.
I highly recommend
Canada.
We're going to Canada, and you got to come down here and visit some of the regionals around here.
We will be great tour guides for you.
Yes.
But before we go, because I heard there's some really, really good poutine in Canada. You got to get us some good. Take us to where the good poutine is.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm just saying. I think that's an equal exchange. If we're going to be your tour guides through this,
yes.
You should be able to get us the good poutine.
If you're a burn virgin, we'll help you. See, I love doing that. See, I did that at a burn because I usually am like, nah, you don't know what you're doing yet. But then one year I went with one of my friends. I went to a Resonance in Wichita. I went to the Wichita burn and went to Reza with one of my friends. And that was Okay, that was the burn that I fucking needed, because my relationship had with my other partner had ended, and we were on a break, and my relationship with my current partner, like, he was just like, you need to go and have a solo burn. So I got to have a solo burn, no partners or anything. It was just me and one of my close friends. And we fucking get there. And I'm telling you, that was the best fucking time ever. I had the entire burn, not a day, but the entire burn just to fucking be fucking
Just be free. It's great, isn't it?
holy fucking shit, man. Like, I I I remember everything. And it was, I remember that there was this guy who was like an expert on trees. And so he was part of treehouse camp, where they built a fucking treehouse in the tree, and they made like one of those amazing like tree swings, like the ones that, swing really high and really far. I stood up on it, and someone like took me back and pushed me, and I was like, "Wee! I'm 5, bitches!" And I started like spinning. It's like super fast.
Oh, I've always wanted to do that. So you got one up on me.
Oh my god! And then like, that was so much fucking fun. And then we found a bunch of like virgin burners, little virgin burners. They never burned in their life. So me and my friend, we were just like, okay, we're gonna show you what a burn is and how to fucking do it. So we adopted this group of burner virgins. We took them around to the places. We did all the things. And at one minute, we were all together being like, hey, let's go to the bar. So we were heading to the bar. And I'll never forget this. This guy appears out of the abyss, because we're in the woods. And he appears out of the abyss, and he's wearing this, cute, furry pink hat. He's got a light up baton. He's kind of short, and he's got this baton, and he comes up to us, and he starts going like this with the baton. And then he goes, why aren't we dancing? And then leaves. And we all stood there for a minute, like looking at each other like, did that just happen? Did that? And then we all were like, wait a minute. Why aren't we dancing? And we just fucking started dancing, and that became the theme for our burn for the rest of that fucking weekend. We were all constantly like, you guys, why aren't we dancing? Like, why aren't we? And then like we never saw him again. And it was
our Canadian virgin said he's got us on poutine.
Ooh.
And honored that we want to pop his Burning Man cherry.
Oh, you're going to have fun with us. You're going to have fun with us. But yeah, no, we didn't see him for the rest of the burn. We thought he just appeared magically to all of it. We didn't see him and there was only 600 people. So you were able to see everybody every single day. And I was just like, where is he? And I wasn't going to spend the rest of my burn looking for him, because it was the moment that we needed and the inspiration that we needed to continue our burn. But like, I love moments like that. There was another one where my friend had a parachute, like one of those giant, gym room parachutes.
Yes.
We were all underneath it, and we were all like yelling at each other. And we were like, this is parachute camp. We're gonna have a meeting right now. And I was like, I'm the secretary, and I'm just like, we got interns, and like we made this whole thing. And I was like, interns, I need a notepad and I need a pen. I need everybody to get my shit together. Like, let's do this. I literally say that. The next thing I know, an entire pad of notepads show up in my lap and 50 pens. And I'm like, no fucking way. And so like we all grab a notepad and pens, and we start writing shit down. We peek our head out, and we're like, we're having a meeting. We're like, we go back in. Like,
and see, those are the moments that people don't get about certain festivals, especially when you burn.
Exactly.
Because and the adventure starts before you even get there. Because you will meet people along the way that may not even be going there.
Exactly.
But they will be awesome people that will tell you like, oh, go get a burger from here, or make sure you stop by here, whether you're coming or going, or on your way back, if you need a place to stay, like we actually live off of highway, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's a whole experience.
It is.
Like, by the time from when you pack up whatever vehicle you are taking, when you get there, experience it and go. It's an experience from literally the time you get in, whether you're in a driveway or a parking lot, until you get back.
Yep.
Every step. And it's like people will sense it on you that that's where you're going. And they're like, I've even run into people that are like, I wish I could go. I can't take off work. Please have fun for me. I even had people slip me $20 bills.
Yeah.
Like, get this on me. Get that on me. And I'm like, oh no, I don't need it. No. Get it on me.
Mm-hmm. It's amazing. When my boyfriend and I we went down to Loveburn, probably like the last burn of the year before the pandemic hit. We had found through the community a house in Atlanta, and we were going to stop in Atlanta because we drove to Florida. We didn't fucking fly. And it turned out that this house was a burner house. It was a burner owned house.
Oh, that's so cool.
What they do is they like, this house is huge, and they had live-in residents, but they also had rooms available for travelers, like people on their way. That's what their house is for burners who need a place to stay.
Oh, that is so dope.
Communal house. They have a list of house rules of, if it's your dish, clean it. We want to, it's a community house, a communal house.
I love that.
And, we got to stop in there. We got the house tour. We got to see what it was all about. It was great. And then the next day we leave and we get to the burn and we see our friends who were on their way there too. We see him at the burn and we're just like, hey, thanks for letting us stay with you. And he's like, yeah, you guys need to come back through. We're like, no, we're good. We're going to go to Alachua because we had friends in Alachua to stay. But I mean, it was just, that is beautiful. That's one of the things that you can find through this thing. And there's community, but there's the intersectionality of the burn. Anybody can find anything. And I mean, and I'm going to take another step further. Because it's all inclusive, that means it includes racists, homophobes, all of those things. When I say that you can find your people there, you can find your people there. And trust and believe, I have found racists there, not looking for them, but found them. I have found homophobes. I have found all of those motherfuckers there. They exist. And that's one of the things that I've been working on in the St. Louis burner community, is recognizing that while we are radically inclusive, at the same time of radically including people, we are radically excluding people. I'm like, there needs to be, and as well, these people who think that that they can come in and bring that default world bullshit into our world, which is what we're not trying to do. What we're trying to do is build a community that's better than the default world. And
it's just like this new movement of faux punk people. And I say faux because if you're a part of the punk community, you don't have a conservative lifestyle. You don't have a conservative mentality. But these faux punks are like, well, I'm conservative because I have some tattoos. Yeah, you could have got some tattoos as a teenager in college. Exactly. And now you've decided to be conservative. I had this conversation with one of my sister-in-laws, and I can respect her identifying as a conservative because that's how she lives her life. My issue is when I see somebody in a polyamorous relationship with 50,000 tattoos and piercings, that's hanging out at the drag shows, that's hosting the Alphabet Mafia at their house every other week going, I'm conservative. Houseway. Houseway. And the biggest thing about these festivals,
burns. You're gonna get eaten alive if you call it a festival. You know that. You know they're gonna be like,
I was encompassing some other things, but we didn't talk about those other things. So let me correct myself. At Burns, because
I don't want you to get eaten alive because
I was
how we are.
We true. And in my mind, I was encompassing other things, but we did not discuss those other things. So you're right. Thank you. Thank you for the.
I just save your ass. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you for the correction. So at Burns, one thing that I will tell you, if you want to know if your relationship is for you, and if you want to know what category of relationship you should be in, go to Burn.
Say it. Oh my God.
It will tell you if you're monogamous, if you're polygamist, if you're polyamorous, if you're just best with being single and getting into the BDSM lifestyle. A Burn will let you know. I know it doesn't make sense to you right now, But go to
But when
a
you
burn.
get there,
Go to it. It
but
will
when you
tell
get
you
there,
everything you need to know about the type of relationship you need to be in.
because I'll tell you what, when I went to my first burn, I was 19 years old. And I, had my partner at the time. I wasn't poly then, never knew what poly was. And I was surrounded by so many amazing people. And everybody was like, oh my God, you're beautiful. And I was like, you're beautiful. And I was like, fully like went head in, man. I fucking went head in. I was like, I am all about this. My boyfriend was not. He was not all about it. And I was like, how do you not? Like, this is amazing. And it was very clear there was some jealousy of Jesse was called beautiful all weekend and hit on by a bunch of people and blah, blah, all that stuff. And I was just like, but like, this is kind of the environment. So he and I had talked about maybe being like, what if, at a burn, we like play. I mean, it's a burn, right? We can let's just play.
It's better than Vegas.
And he was like, okay, so we tried a burn where we played, and Jesse played. Jesse got, I fucking had fun. I communicated with him what I was gonna do, and I said, go have, are you okay? He's like, yeah, I'm good. And it turned out it wasn't okay. So I knew very soon after that we were not going to work out, especially because when I was with him, I met my current boyfriend. Yeah, I met him 8 years ago by accident. See, the way I met him, I was with my boyfriend at the time, and it was cold as shit at this burn. Like, it did not get above 54 degrees one day, and it snowed. Anyway, I was at Spordro, which is a place where you can go and drop off clothes, pick up clothes, whatever. So I was trying to find some fucking layers because a bitch only brought a onesie. And so I saw this coat hanging on a rack, and I just saw it, and I was looking at it, and then this guy just shows up and be like, that's mine. And I was just like, okay, fuck you. I hope I never see you again. Later on, we're trying to, hype ourselves up. It's cold. And I asked my boyfriend to put a blindfold on me. And so he puts a blindfold on me, and he leads me to, it's called at the time it was called Camp Sloppy Pussy. It was great. And that was like the poly camp. And so he led me to the poly camp because I knew a bunch of people from the year before burning. And so he led me there, and then he just like released me. And I was like blindfolded. I had no idea where I was. And so I was joking, and I was reaching below the belt, just being like, hello, boyfriend, where are you? Where are you? And I, get a whole handful of something. And I lift up my blindfold, and it's the dude whose jacket he thought I was going to steal. And I was like, you're not my boyfriend. He's like, nope. And then that's how we met. That's how we officially met. And we exchanged. And who knew? A year later, we'd be dating. And who knew? 7 years later, we'd still be together. But like, yeah.
But that's how it works. And that's why I tell people all the time, I'm like, if you go to certain places, you will find out because a lot of people think that they're in the right category of dating, but then they and you'll see it all over social media and in real life where they're like, I don't understand why I keep being heartbroken. Because you're not in the right relationship.
Exactly.
And I'm not going to say, oh, you're a woman chasing a man and maybe a woman is for you. No, it doesn't matter. The gender that you're chasing, if you're chasing the wrong relationship for you, it will not work. Everybody is not meant to be monogamous.
No. And here's the thing. You can be poly, but you can be emotionally monogamous.
Yep.
And that is something that rocked my poly universe, because the way it was structured was it was at the center was my boyfriend and his wife, because they're married, they have children. So I was like, that is your priority. That is and that's when we had the primary, secondary, full on roles in that. And so I was on I was secondary, but I was fine with being secondary. And, I will have to say, sometimes in a primary, when you are in a secondary role, your time gets compromised more, because if it ain't good in the primary area, they got to work out their shit. And unfortunately, if that means canceling your date that night, that means canceling your date. And sometimes you got to roll with the punches. Sometimes it can be used as manipulation if they don't like you, which I have experienced in my polycule before. and it becomes a habit, and you're just like, man, I can't do anything. I feel powerless. I feel, all that other shit. But
And I also want to point out that do not assume that because you were at it after someone that you're automatically secondary or third, because I've been at it and I've immediately become the primary.
Right. And that's so true, because here's the thing. What we knew, at least what my partner knew, my boyfriend knew, was that his wife was emotionally monogamous and emotionally monogamous with her boyfriend. It was very clear in the following years. And what made the shift work was the day that he gave his wife the blessing to go. That's where your heart is. That's where you want to be. We can still be friends. We are done with our romantic relationship, period. We are still married, but we are done with our romance, because your heart is there.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time of doing that, I was dating another person who I thought, who I put in a primary role, because I was like, yeah, he's my primary now. Like, because I thought I had to go out and find a primary, but I knew, because of this. And then, so he and we went on our anniversary to a burn, and we're there, and it's late at night, and he's walking with me, and I'm just like, what's up, babe? And he's just like, I got something. I need to talk to you. And I said, okay, let's go. Talking time. And he's like, love is love, right? And we should embrace it, right? And I said, yeah. And he's just like, I think we should go for it. And I was like, I was gagged. I couldn't breathe. I was
See, I think that's what a lot of people miss.
I was doing so many things. I was smiling. I was blushing. My heart was all aflutter. And then I was like, oh, fuck. Because I had my other partner in a primary role. And that's
what you did was what a lot of people do.
Exactly.
A lot of people assume that because we're polyamorous and we may not be primary in that relationship, it doesn't mean that the person that we may be secondary or third to can't be our primary.
Exactly.
There's levels to things.
So many
because
levels.
Somebody could be secondary to me, but I could be their primary. And things can change. And actually being polyamorous will teach you a lot about yourself and give you room to grow. And I'm not condemning monogamy or polygamy. I am not. I am just saying what I have learned, because me personally, I have tried all three because I wasn't sure where I fit. I have been in all of these situations. And I've also done the satisfied single. I'm just going to date around. I'm not going to. So I'm speaking from a multitude of places. And this is what I have to say. You can learn a lot about yourself. And the biggest thing that you learn is that you're going to grow and your love is going to alter and change.
Yep. The universe is constantly changing.
And that doesn't mean that as your love grows and change, it's going to change away from your current partner. It could grow stronger to your current partner. You could meet someone else. And I think the most prolific thing that I ever heard was a quote from Johnny Depp. If you fall in love with two people, stick with the second person, because if you truly love the first person, the second person wouldn't have mattered. And we have to realize that we created as a society, as a people, these relationship rules. Who said that we were put on this planet to only, and I hate things like songs and poems that are like, I only have eyes for you. You a damn motherfucking liar.
Fucking liar. Fucking lies.
You're a damn, it makes men and women and non-binary individuals very insecure, because you could be at the store. Like, I've been at the store, even with my friends, and I'm like, damn, he fine. Damn, she fine. Damn, they fine. It's okay.
We're humans and we are constantly on the hunt.
As long as I'm not following them in the bathroom to hold them down.
Yeah. but we're all constantly on the hunt. Because that's the drive. That is the biological drive that we have. We have a sex drive. We have an attraction drive. That is part of being a fucking human. That is part of being a mammal. That is part of being any of those things. So yeah, there are times where you're going to be, extra in the tatas or extra, accentuating certain things, not just for you, but your subconscious is telling you today's the day and you look fresh and you look fine. Go out, be you, do exactly what you need, and catch those motherfucking eyes. You do it subconsciously. Sometimes you do it consciously. You can tell on days when it's not working because you're trying too hard. But on the days when you're not trying so hard, you turn more heads.
Yep.
You just turn more heads.
And Rebecca, I've never experienced a temple at a burn.
Oh, I know about the temple. I know the temple.
But I'll let you talk about the temple in a minute. But I will tell you, I have had communals around a fire pit where we did the same thing. Generally I'm a little delayed because I'm kind of a hippie during my pilgrimage, and I tend to like to drive and stop by and see people that I didn't see since the year before, and I pick up people, and if you need to go from this city to this city, I'll take you, or if you want to go to a burn with me, like I'm that person.
Neighbors. I'm in Missouri,
Yes. So I would be the person that would like come and get you and like, oh, what's good around here? And we might chill and be like, oh, guess what? Such and such from TikTok lives over here. Let's go visit them for a minute. So I usually show up a day late. So I haven't experienced the temple experience.
I have. I can talk about that.
But I have had communals because I do travel with the traveling fire pit. Mm-hmm. So I've had that experience with people, but go ahead, Jesse, explain
So the temple is one of the most emotional places that you will ever go. They call it cry camp for a reason. The energy that's there, it is the one place that is quiet. They require, if you have sound on your mutant vehicle or on whatever you're using to move around the playa, they require you within a certain radius to turn it off out of respect. And what it is a place to grieve. I literally walked in, and they have people who volunteer as temple guardians. They just walk through to make sure people are being respectful, people are okay, because it is an emotional space. And this past year, when I walked in there, oh my God, I walked in and I just felt this wave hit me. And all over it, I saw pictures of people who had lost loved ones. I watched them build their own, memorial for loved ones. I saw Black Lives Matter signs everywhere. I saw Black Trans Lives Matter signs everywhere. I saw so many of our fallen brothers and sisters that we had lost up to that point in 2019 at the temple. I saw writing, and they bring you ladders. They have markers there that you can write whatever you want on this, on the inside, on the outside. I saw people who were mourning their dogs. I saw people who were doing all kinds of things. And I mean, the energy that's in there, people will walk by and, you have to be quiet. You can whisper, but you can't talk above a whisper in there. And man, for me, the temple experience, I got in there and I was in there for maybe about 45 minutes, just reading everything on the wall. I read everything. I read about loved ones. I read about sexual assaults. I read about, someone losing their job. You just write all of those things there. And it inspired me to write out the names of every person who had assaulted me in my life. And I wrote a final fuck you to all of them. And after writing that, I broke down and I cried. And so many people walked over to me graciously and put their hand on my shoulder consensually and looked at me. They looked at what I wrote and they embraced me. And they cried with me. And others came over and cried. And, you can just cry and you can just let it all go. And at the end, after the man burns on Sunday, you wear, they encourage you to wear white,
Yep.
and you go to the temple and they burn the temple. The temple comes after the man. And it is a very emotional experience. And so we had left before the temple had burned, but I was watching because people live stream from Burning Man. So I watched the live stream of the temple burn, and I cried as I watched the temple burn and then I felt so much better because I burned away every person that had ever violated me and basically told them to go fuck themselves. And I, watched it fucking crumble, and I watched the temple fall. And there's no cheering during it. You're quiet. You have to be quiet out of respect for everybody, for everything. And in that, I not only just saw my own experience, happen, but as well the things that resonated with me of people losing, a friend, loved one, a dog, a cat, or anything that meant so much to them. And of course, all of the Black lives. I saw so many people with I saw so many Mike Browns on there. I saw Amir's name on there. Oh my God. I saw like Sandra Bland's name. I saw Oscar Grant's name. I saw so many of them in there. In fact, it was probably all of them, but I saw all of their names there.
Like, see, I didn't get a chance to experience the temple, but I did get a chance. I was still there. And the last burn that I went to, I did get a chance to see the temple burn down. And I was like, I was so close. I didn't know it was over there. And I need people to realize it's not like a pinnacle focal point.
Right.
So when people go, well, how did you not know that it was there, Ted? There's so much going on, and you
fucking playa. Exactly.
Right. You get so communal. But what we did around my fire pit, we had like basically tissue paper and do I have them near me? Yeah, actually, I do. We had color pencils like this. To write. Yeah. Nice. Because you can write on the tissue paper, and we burned those. And that was kind of our moment. But seeing the temple come down, as I said, I've never walked into the temple. I haven't had that experience. Hopefully after COVID is done, I can go to the next burn and have that experience. It is on my bucket list. But even if you never walk in,
you feel it
still hits you. It's
the quiet. I'm telling you, that quiet. That fucking flame shooting octopus.
Yeah,
that rolled up to the temple, it was quiet.
People can tell you that they've heard someone sing and it's touched their soul in a certain way. Amplify that by 1,000,000.
That is that energy.
That is how you feel. You feel it's like at that moment, you feel what everybody let go of, and it gives you the courage and the peace. And it's important because you can have the courage to let go, but you also need to have the peace to let go. Because if you don't have the peace to let go, you're not really letting go. But it gives you the courage and the peace to let it go. I can't think of the celebrity that says it. When she goes, you have to let it go like a bird. Caca.
I know what you mean.
And that is, and some people don't understand where sometimes there'll be random days during the week where I feel something releasing from me, where I didn't even realize I was getting to the point where it was releasing from me. And I'll randomly go, caca. And that's just my way of saying to myself, I've let it go. Because I spoke to somebody today who really thought that I was holding animosity towards them. And I said, that was yesterday. Today is today. What's going on, boo? How you doing? Just like when me and you talked and you were like, well, I'm so, didn't I tell you? Don't do that. That was yesterday.
Yeah.
Today is today. What happened yesterday, we discussed it yesterday.
Yeah.
I left it yesterday. I need you to leave it yesterday. And I think more people need to do that. And I think you can have that ability just go to a burn. Like seriously, you
That I know what you're talking about, because like whenever I first get to a burn, I've been a burner for almost 10 years. And when I get to a burn, I know what, burn like, but you
yeah.
never know, because it's a different experience every single time. But there's a moment. It's usually about, because regionals, besides Burning Man's a week, regional Thursday through Sunday. About Friday midday, something hits me. Something hits me right, and I'm on a groove. I'm on a high, and I'm riding it. And I'm just spit firing. Maybe I'm the funniest I've ever been in my life. And I'm just going. I'm on a roll. Everyone's laughing. I'm
right there.
breathing it. I'm loving it. And then there's a point where I'm just like, "Wah!" And I just yell, and I'm like, existential being, and I just like let it out, and so many people are just like, fuck yeah, and I'm just like,
yes,
I love this, fuck yeah, I'm home, I'm here, woo, like I love watching the people when the burn hits.
Yes, because when that burn hits,
and
you
they
know they are letting go of everything.
I got a powerful moment for you.
Whether they've been there every year or it's their first year,
I got one.
You will let go. Everybody has a different day. Everybody has a different day. And there's no specific hour. It will hit you.
It hits.
And you will just, something will come upon you.
Mm-hmm.
You will let out, we call it a yell, but the sound that comes out of your body, there's really no description for it.
You can't describe it.
You are yelling out everything that ever ailed you.
Mm-hmm.
You release it all into the universe. And it's like at that moment, you trust the universe to protect you. And you've let go of everything else.
It's gone.
And you have this release. Yes. And then it's like right after that, it's like the way I can describe it is you let that out and then it just like falls upon you.
It's like, it's literally like, oh my God, it's the best fucking feeling ever. It just comes down.
Like when you were a child, if you like going out in the rain or going out into the snow, and when that first raindrops or that snow would hit you and it felt like it was rinsing away everything without the physical rain or the physical, that's what you feel, everything just wash off of you.
Your eyes go, they clear. Like you kind of had cloud in your eyes, and then you're like, I haven't seen this clear. I couldn't see this clear. I had to come here for that clarity.
You start seeing beauty in the universe that you never saw. After my first burn, the things that I was like, how was I taking this for granted? Like, first of all, I started seeing, like, I know we have this whole body positivity movement going on right now, but okay, first of all, y'all, I'm gonna let y'all in on something. For the longest time, I just had a thing for BBWs. If you were not a BBW, I realized I was biased, and my brain was like, oh, they're not attractive. I was wrong for that. I have apologized several times. Do not judge me on this. Okay. All right. Okay. But after my first burn, I was like, oh, there's some beautiful people in all shapes. Like,
you're that narrow that you looked through in the default world. Once that burn hits, it fucking
right. And I was just like, oh shoot.
No, we're not saying that racism is the cure for all of these things. No, not racism. That burns are the cure for racism or anything. That it all melts away. That's no. I want to make that very clear. That's not what we're saying. That going to a burn will fix everything. Fix all.
Oh no, because you can run into some stuff that will make you uncomfortable, but you have to realize going in that you're going to run into some stuff that's going to make you uncomfortable, but embrace what does make you comfortable. Embrace that. And let yourself, society tells you that you have to fit into so many different boxes. And that's where this is where we come from when we talk about intersectionality, because intersectionality gives you 67 different boxes that you have to try to put yourself into. How are you going to try to fit into 67 different boxes at the same damn time? You can't do it. You don't even have that many limbs. We are not Ursula from The Little Mermaid. But when you go to a burn, you don't have to fit into a box.
No.
You can just be. Yes. Are there things that are going to make you uncomfortable? Yes, because everybody is welcome. So there are people, just as you are being and discovering your true self, they are being and discovering their true self. We're just saying, don't engage with them. You
Exactly.
don't have to.
That's the beauty of it. You will find your people. And what's beautiful about it is that you can walk through and be like, that's my people, not my people. You have that ability to say, I mean, there are camps that I have, I've been going to these regionals in Missouri for almost 10 years. There are camps that I still have not ventured into. Why? Because they are not my people.
Likewise.
Not my vibe. I'm just like, nope, I don't want to, that's not.
But if you see my face, I'm always going to have lemonade, some sweet tea, and some sandwiches for you. Just come on by. Only thing I ask, just give me a hug, because I'm a hugger. Okay. That's all I ask. I will feed you, but you got to give me a hug. If you don't want to give me a hug, then I'm not going to feed you. Because
I am known for changing my costume every 5 minutes. I have so many costumes. Like people, I always tell people, I'm like, do not get used to what you see.
See, I don't change costumes.
Outfits to get through. I have so many
outfits, but most of my outfits are technically pajamas that I thought were cute.
It's whatever the fuck you want to wear. You go as bare as you dare,
And then I do have this little cute pink toga ensemble, because it makes me feel like Beyonce at Beychella.
Taz, I need to tag you in. I did 2 videos around the time that Burning Man would have happened last year, and I was like, what would I wear if I was at Burning Man? I'm going to tag you in those.
Because I couldn't make a video because I was in my feelings.
I hear you. I know. I was upset too.
I was really ready to have like a mini Burning Man in my backyard.
I would have been there had I known you then.
But my HOA was like, you can only have 3 people, and I was like, if I have 3 people, I need people who understand the burn, like you can't just. But you know what I'm saying? Like you can't.
I know exactly.
Invite people. Like if I would have known you, then I would have been like, yes, let's do it.
If it would have been me, we'd have been having I would have fucking brought in a whole goddamn effigy. You know me. But anyway,
that's okay, because next month, come on down. I'll send you my address. We're gonna do a mini, because I'm getting a fire pit. We're doing it.
I have friends who build effigies. I'm friends with the effigy team here in. I'm part of leadership of the Gateway Burn here.
Yeah, well, I can do 15 people this time. So.
Okay. I see you. But what I was going to say about that the moment of the burn hitting you and watching that happen is I watched the most amazing thing happen. Oh my God, he's one of my closest friends. He's gay, he's fabulous, he's amazing. It was his first burn. And there was a sound camp that was playing like fucking house music with a little bit of electro swing. Like it was a fucking vibe, right? And my friend was just like, before he was my friend, I didn't even know who he was. But I was just like, okay, it's another Black person. I'm going to be nice to you because there's only like 5 of us. And, I'm like, welcome. I want you to know that we exist. Minorities do exist. And so I talked with him, got to know him a little bit. And then I was just like, this music. And he was being a little timid, a little shy, whatever. And then something hit. And I watched it. I watched him because he was, on the side being like, And then his eyes just narrowed and he fucking strutted out onto the dance floor. He pinned people. He went this way, then he went this way, then he went this way. He cleared the floor just by walking and making eye contact. He made eye contact with every person being like, y'all need to clear the floor because I'm about to fucking break the fuck down. And he fucking cleared the floor. Oh my God, he danced his ass off. He was hitting, he was voguing, he vogued the fucking house down. I was like, oh my, we were all just like, oh, and then we were like, yeah, I'm like, yes. And then when it was over, like, he came spinning out, and then he was just like, what was that? And I was like, that's exactly what it is. That's what it is. I'm like, there are no words. You know where you are now. And he's just like, and like he went on for an hour about what that experience was. And I was just like, please tell me about, I like, talk. He's just like, I mean, I didn't, and I was like, yeah. I'm like, you get it now, right? You get it. And he's like,
That was his moment.
I love these. I'm coming back every year. I'm doing this. I was just like, yay. And like, I found him like later on in the weekend, and like, I found him burn night after we did our fire laps. And I was just like, happy burn. And he gave me the biggest hug, and he's just like, bitch, let's go dance. And I said, let's
I'm just saying, we're not trying to say that a burn is the cure to everything, but if you truly want to find yourself and where you fit into society, because if you're on the fence as to where you fit, if you're in the alphabet mafia, if you're not, where you fit in the alphabet mafia, where you fit as far as relationships, that you need to go someplace. Mm-hmm. And the burn is the best place to go, whether it's regional or you go to the main event.
Or international.
Right. Because we're definitely gonna get international with this. We're gonna talk about that later, Jesse. We're gonna go to later. Well, but everybody needs a place to feel accepted.
Facts.
Everybody needs a place to feel comfortable and accepting themselves. Because before you can feel accepted by others, you need to accept yourself. And unfortunately, the world and the society that we live in is constantly telling us this is wrong, that's wrong, this feeling is wrong, this move is wrong, this is wrong. You're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't.
Facts.
And when you go someplace where you get so much love and so much acceptance, you can leave. And just like Jesse has explained and I've explained, we've made lifelong connections and lifelong friendships where we still have that support system where we can move forward. And when people ask me, even today when I was asked, oh, well, this person came at you, why aren't you mad at them? Why? Okay, they were mad at me yesterday. I was mad at them yesterday. I went to sleep. I woke up. Today is today. Let's move forward.
Yeah, for sure.
And it doesn't mean I'm taking the accountability away from them. Mm-hmm. I'm just not. The biggest lesson I learned from going to a burn, never let somebody else have control over your life, your thoughts, and your happiness.
Or your experience.
Right. And when you are so consumed by somebody else that they quote unquote are living rent free in your head, you've given them power.
Yep.
It doesn't mean that I've forgotten what you did. It doesn't mean that because I said I forgive you or I'm okay with you, doesn't mean that I'm still not looking at you like, okay, you did me so dirty. This isn't, oh, we had a misunderstanding. Okay, sis, we good. That's not what I'm talking about. And we all know some people have done things to us that for a couple years or maybe even a decade or two, we got to keep a stern eye on them.
Yup.
And y'all know what I'm talking about. I ain't going to say it on here because I'm not trying to get community guidelines violations, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm putting down. So we're going to move past that. But when you go and you're able to accept yourself, can't nothing stop you.
No.
Can't nothing break your happiness. Even on my worst day, guess what? I'm still happy with Taz. I still love Taz. Yeah. I'm still going to happy dance. I'm still going to look in the mirror and go, hey, beautiful, what you doing today? What you doing?
What I'm not going to do is not say that a burn can't be a bad thing. Because here's the thing. It's an experience.
Mm-hmm.
I like the beginning of A Tale of Two Cities. It was, the best of times. It was the worst of times. That is what a burn can be. I have seen people who have had the best burn they've ever had in their entire life. And it's probably, that is their peak moment. And every burn after that is karaoke.
I've seen people have bad experiences
that were so bad for them that they've left, they've broken up, something massive has happened to them.
And I've also seen people learn some horrible things about themselves at a burn.
I have seen I've watched it go down. We've observed it, we've seen it, and it's on full display. You are going to have those struggles. I was, with my boyfriend and everybody out in the desert. We almost broke up on Monday. and we would have had the rest of the week to just, and I was like, fuck, like that could have been my Burning Man experience of losing the most amazing relationship that I've ever had in my life. At that point, 6 years. No, 5 years. At that point, we were together for only for 5 years. And I was like, and I was like, fuck, this is what my burn is going to be. But thank God we fucking worked it out, and we're still together, and it's, we're getting ready for 7 years in July.
Oh yeah, I took a friend of mine once
Yeah.
on my hippie pilgrimage
Mm-hmm.
to a burn. She was adamant. I want to go. I said, are you emotionally ready? Because she was coming off of a pretty bad breakup. And I felt she should wait till the next year. And this was the last regional burn before COVID.
Yep.
And I kept asking her, she's like, no. She had a horrible experience because she learned things about herself she wasn't ready to learn.
Mm-hmm.
I felt bad for her. I tried to be there for her as much as possible, but burn is just like a morganite.
Yeah.
If you are not ready to remove certain things or address certain things or accept certain things exist in society, don't go to a burn.
Don't go. Exactly.
Because as much as you will see love and kindness, you'll see colorism, you'll see sexism, you'll see racism, you'll see transphobia, you'll see homophobia, you'll see biphobia, because everybody has a community there that's being represented.
Exactly. And see, that's what I've been working on here in the St. Louis burner community, is challenging people, because the whole point of one of the main points of burns, it's not just about, the lights and the music and the art and stuff and the fire. It's not all about that. It's about, can we actually build a community that is better than the world that we are leaving behind just for these amounts of days? And so far, the answer is no. No, we cannot. So I've been challenging people with our 10 principles that we have. I'm like, people are falling back on radical self-expression as an excuse for their racism, homophobia, sexism.
And when you decide to be all-inclusive, you can't turn into the hypocrite of the oppressor, where it's like, yeah, I'm going to tell you I'm all-inclusive, but I don't want you here.
Exactly. And so here's the thing. What I've been doing is I really have to break down what radical self-expression is to people, because they think it just means you can do and say whatever you want. I said, no, bitch. See, you didn't actually read it. It is radical self-expression, which is the truest form of expression for yourself. So if you wake up, Thursday morning, and you decide to say the N-word, you are telling, and you say, oh, it's radical self-expression, then you are telling me that you are a racist. That is what
you're also telling me that you understand that results vary depending on geographical location.
Yep.
And I'm going to say, regarding geographical location, if you were in close proximity to me and these hands, I'm going to assume that you like to play catch and you're going to catch these hands.
Facts. And so I want to mention something amazing that happened to me on Playa. So we had the Black Burner Project, and every year since the beginning of the Black Burner Project, they get together at 6:30 in the Man on Friday 6:30 in the Man at 6:30 to take a picture. The year before I went, only 25 burners of color showed up. The year I went, now I just found out about it that Monday. I was on my bike and I saw a black girl whose bike was busted, and I stopped to talk to her, and she told me her name, and I pointed her at my camp because we were the Fix It Up shop. And then she said, oh, by the way, Friday, 6:30 in the Man, be there. I was like, okay. I show up. When I tell you there was over 300 of us, 300 of melanin of all shades, and people, I met people from Botswana. I met people from Sweden. I met people from Australia. I met people from the UK. I met people from Russia. I met people all over the continent of Africa. I met people all over America. I met so many men, women, and non-binaries of color. And there is a picture of us that actually made it into Essence magazine of all of us with our fist up. And I'm like so happy. And like some of these girls just came up to me because I was wearing like this little blue thing and I had a blue beret. And this girl, she looked like a sexy bunny. And she comes up to me, she's like, "Oh, blueberry girl, come here." And I was like, "Okay." And like I got, you know, I did this, I did that, I was embracing it, and then like we were all just joking around because we had all showed up on time, and we're like, damn, we early for the cookout. Like we were just all.
Yeah, well, see, it was on my bucket list before COVID
Amazing.
to actually come to your regional burn.
Really?
But COVID happened.
Interviews? Wait, which one? Gateway or Interviews?
Gateway.
Fuck yes.
But then COVID happened, and I was like, crap. I'm immunocompromised. Even if they keep going, I can't go. So I'm like, because I had made a list like 4 years ago, and I was like, okay, every year I'm gonna scratch off from this list because I had heard through the grapevine, because you know how people talk. Oh, you got to go to this regional. You got to go to this one. You got to go to this one. It's. So I made a little list.
Nice.
And I was scratching, and I'm like, COVID.
Yeah.
Thank you, COVID.
We're bummed out here. Interviews was gonna be good. Gateway was gonna be good. Like,
but once we get out of COVID, I got some burner outfits that's just been stacking up in the closet.
Max, I have so many.
I'm probably gonna be changing like every 10 minutes. So
be like me. You're gonna be
just like me. You better snap a picture because the next time you see me, I might be in something completely. I'm about to late 90s Grace Jones this bit.
I feel like I just said that, you know, because it's so fucking true. You never know like how many times you have so many outfits and so many different things that you want to do. And that's how I burn. That's how Jesse burns. I might step out of my tent in one thing and be like, and I'll go back in, change my wig, put on something different, and be like, yes. And then I might do a promenade, you know, do a hot lap, come back, change my outfit.
And I'm bringing a kiddie pool with me this time.
You know, at Gateway, we are trying to we have water. We have access to water because it's in June. So, I mean, there is river. There's river. I don't.
Oh, no, I'm talking about for picture purposes.
Oh, for pictures. Oh, fuck yeah. Bring a fucking pool. It'd be dope. But yeah, you know.
I want to have that. Okay, remember that one scene with Beyonce where she's like kicking up water and dancing? That's what I want.
Okay, let's do it.
So, yeah, I'm going to bring 2 kiddie pools, one for me, one for you. That's what we're going to do.
Okay. I'm going to be like, everybody go away. We'll be Beyonce for the day. Okay. I'm down. I am so down.
But I do want to say thank you, Jesse, for coming on and discussing this with me. This has been so much fun. And thank you all for tuning in. And tomorrow, okay, y'all probably going to get tired of me, but we're doing a double dose of Conversations with Taz. In the afternoon, we're going to talk about how to be a proper ally to the Alphabet Mafia. If you're not familiar with what the Alphabet Mafia is the LGBTQIA plus community. And then later on tomorrow night, we are going to talk about the change in police procedures. So we're going to go, we're going to be kind of serious tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm taking a break. I need it.
Y'all pray for me because I ain't never been that serious ever in my forever life. So we're gonna see how that goes.
We'll see how that goes. This was a great conversation. I'm so glad that we did talk about poly. Everybody, go back. You can hear it. We did talk about poly, but I love how we just connected on a burner level.
Yes,
what I love. That's what I love because you never know. Someday you might be walking down the street and you'll see that patch and you'll be like, I know that camp.
And that's what I love about my platform Conversations with Taz, because there's no rules to it. Mm-hmm. I might come up with a topic or somebody might give me a topic, but I love the fact I'm not stringent. This isn't the Dr. Phil show. This isn't Oprah. This isn't People's Court. We're not, we gotta stick on this. Wherever it goes, that's where we're gonna go.
And we went to Burning Man. That's amazing. Like,
oh, wait a minute. Volcanic Ash wants to wear a tutu. Oh, baby, I'll bring you a tutu.
Tutus on Tuesdays. Tutu Tuesday.
Yes. Oh, I'll bring you a tutu. What color you want?
Yeah, make sure it lights up. No dark ones. We don't like
Yes, but
dark.
we're gonna say good night.
Yes. Good night.
Thank
Mwah.
you all. And as always, each one reach one, each one teach one. And I
Yes.
love you, even if nobody else told you that today.
Love, 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 love. Mwah.
Till next time, you guys. And thank you again, Jesse.
No problem. Whee!